Hello there, we welcome you to another edition of Hot Seats, a program where we bring to you well-meaning Nigerians that have done well for themselves, and you can learn one or two things from, because this program is about education and information. We want you to know what is going on around you and how it can apply to nation building. My name is Tunde Olaniro. I'm in a place where I'm happy to be, but before then, I'd like to take this very short break and we'll take the profile of my guest for today. Then we'll take it up from there. Don't go anywhere. All right, glad to know that you're still there. The program is Hot Seats. And like I said earlier on, I'm in a place where I love to be, because I'm sitting down in the palace of my monarch, because I was born and bred here. Yes, he's the AKARIGBO and paramount ruler of REMO land, and we shall be discussing everything about REMO. REMO has indeed moved from where it used to be to where it is right now in terms of socioeconomic development, and the future looks so bright. Kabiyesi. Kabiyesi.
Thank you very much.
I'm so glad to be here. Because we have so many things in common, Kabiyesi. First of all, our first name is the same. Second is we attended the same secondary school. The first co-educational secondary school in West Africa.
Right.
So I would like to start from there. I read through your profile, Kabiyesi, and it's really intimidating. Going through being a lawyer, a chartered accountant, and this is too much for one person. Now you are combining like three. How did you go about it?
Well, thank you. First, let me welcome you to your town. It's always a pleasure to talk to Remo. But as far as I was concerned, I started out being a chartered accountant. I specialized in insolvency. And for those who know a bit about insolvency, insolvency is 80% law and 20% accounting, and I thought it would be very useful, because when you go to meetings, you always have to have probably a lawyer by your side, and I thought you better just combine both. So I decided to enroll to study law. I did study the law. I went to law school and also did my master's in law. That way, it just made me so grounded in the area of insolvency, and it's really been very, very beneficial. Apart from, I remember those days, the respect it brings at meetings, because we have adversaries, creditors, everybody talking this and that. But immediately they know that you are both. The meeting quietens down and they listen to you. So, but by and large, that's how it started, and that was what was responsible for it. It is what it is.
Is there anything that has to do with the DNA of a REMO person that's poured you into doing this? Is there something about that?
Well, I want to think so, because right from my early days, I've always known that the only art that I exceed most in doing is reading, is studying. I just love studying. I love exams. I'm not fazed by exams, and people don't even know that I'm a fellow of INSOL, and a fellow of INSOL is even something that it's a very rare privilege to be a fellow of INSOL. I was the first in Africa, and the key thing is that that's just start pushing you, and you have to. It's not a fellow that is conferred by, it's not honorary. You have to take exams, and I recall that I was almost 50 when I was taking that exam to be a fellow of INSOL, and the motivation was, I wanted to be the first one in Nigeria. I wanted to be the first one in Africa, and I achieved that. So by and large, it is what it is. So maybe you say it's DNA, but my dad too, absolutely responsible. The only thing you can do to be my dad's friend is to do well in school. So if you're asking for one dress or one shoe or one whatever you've been asking for, all you have to do is you just do well in your exam. That shoe will come. That it's just there that we've been told right from that young age that Once you do well in school, rewards will come in whatever form. And basically, that was what happened.
So what lesson can a young Remo son and daughter that will be watching this learn that you want to learn from
Yes.
this little achievement of yours
Thank
that
you.
is massive?
Thank you. I think the first thing is that for us to imbibe the fact that no knowledge is lost. Whenever even if it is not going to be profitable, that education is key to life. And rarely, yeah, we do have some people that turn out not to be so good even after having gone to school. But if you look at the statistics, the fact that you have gone to school, your success rate in life is already 50% completed. So all you have to do is just now luck again. Luck element is there. It's not everybody that went to study accountancy that is there where it should be. It's not everybody that read law that is where that is it. There's also an element of luck. But once you do your part, it's really, in fact, that those good things will come to you. And I tell my people, I tell people from Remo, because we do have that challenge of trying to push them, lots of scholarships that are available that we have to push them, lots of opportunities in technical schools that are available. And we see that our sons and daughters are not taking advantage of this. And it's always saddening to me that, but maybe partly it's because the value system is been eroded. When we were younger, it was not, the focus was not how we can, we have a roadmap. When I was in secondary school, it never even occurred to me that immediately I leave university, I would drive a car. It's just a roadmap. I know that secondary school, I have to go to university, I have to work hard for a number of years, then I have to get experience, I have to do articleship before I start looking at life. That's the way it is. But now that you even see a secondary school student trying to wear a 5,000 pounds Rolex watch, so it's a value system too. And I beg them, I tell them that we need to go back to the drawing board and that we just can't continue the way we are continuing. And I hope they are listening, and I believe that they are listening. We can't continue the path we are going. It's riches they come, but not overnight. Once it's overnight, then there's a problem there. And our parents too. Our parents, we need to also try. These days or those days, there is no way you go for 3 or 4 months or you come back to your house. Your mom is even looking at your shirt. Your mom is looking at your trousers. Just that basic thing. Where did you get this? How did you get this? Now we talk of you bringing a car to the house. Then you are in trouble because you need to be able to explain. I still remember friends, girls especially those days. The opportunity. Don't know. Probably somebody gave them a car. They cannot park that car in the house. They will go and park it somewhere and walk home because they know the mom will ask, they know the dad will ask, where did they get? So even parents will need to start questioning, the source of wealth of our children.
What about the religious leaders, the spiritual heads in Remo land? What engagements do you have with them to at least spread the gospel of education and moral value upgrade?
I will consider, because I engage our spiritual leaders, the imams, the clerics, because I do go to church, I go for functions, and I listen to what they say. The story, the message is all that is the same. In fact, sometimes I think we're even beginning to sound like a broken record. The message is the same. We just hope that our people, our children will listen, and our parents too will listen. We just need a new direction. But having said that again, I'm thinking that government has to do its own part. A situation where somebody has scored high or sufficient enough and couldn't get admission to the university or couldn't get admission to the polytechnic, it's also discouraging. And even if you can't go to university, you can't go to polytechnic, there are technical schools that should be established, which we are at the forefront of doing now, so that we can be able to absorb. You see, the problem is half solved when you engage these children, when you engage them. And some of the things that we notice, I noticed that is that getting good technical hands is very difficult. You can't, if you're building your house, for you to get a mate that will help the artisan that can get them, especially if you want to construct your building on a Saturday when there is party all over. Nobody comes around to that party. But it is what it is. We'll continue to manage it, and we just hope that the message will go through. But having said that, I think those leaders, they are doing the best. I think they are doing it the right way, the way they're doing it. They keep telling and propagating those words.
Right. As the AKARIGBO of REMO land, your emergence has brought some drastic changes. One of the things we've seen is infrastructure development. We've seen drive in education. We've seen scholarships available for REMO sons and daughters. What spurred you into going all out to achieve this?
Well, the key thing again is that, and I would say it, for this position, it was not, I never intended that I would become, in fact, it was not my aspiration. I didn't even know I was qualified to be a Caribou. I never knew how the nexus of my family to the stool of a Caribou. That's this. It wasn't something I was expecting. But I won't say that was, when my predecessor passed on, I was at the age that I was almost even tired of the professional activities, and that's the truth. I was even thinking that in the office I need to groom somebody who will be managing partner of my firm, will take over. I was tired. Insolvencies can be very acrimonious for those who know about it. It can really be acrimonious. Everybody is planning strategy, how to take over companies, how not to be dislodged from these companies. You want to sell assets. How do you realize the best, to the benefit of lenders who are many, who are even trying to cheat each other, So I was almost getting to the point that I was getting tired. So when this thing came, that was part of the reasons I decided that, okay, maybe it's another opportunity in life to make a difference. And that was it. And when I got into it, and I just thought, we need to do something differently. There has to be an impact. There has to be a change, and which is what we have done. For those who knew me very well from my earlier years, there is no association, there is no club, there is no group that I will join that you will not know that this person is there. Somehow you just be, and before you know it, I'm taking over the leadership of the group or club or this thing. Even our school, this thing. I was once our school. I was one national president of REMO Secondary School for a long time, and we did, and we made a lot of difference in the school. And that's those micro things is what we bring to this macro level, and that's what we have done. The desire to make a difference, and God willing. And I say to a lot of people that as long as we still have that breath, as long as we're still living, there's something that I will not be accused of, that is not trying. We will try. We will try and continue to try. We will authorities, we will beg them, we will cajole them, we will intimidate, we will scare them, but we will appeal to them, just because we want our people to be uplifted, just because we want development in our area, and we will continue to do it by the grace of God.
Right. I once interviewed the Oni of Ife, and he advocated the entrenching of the role of the paramount ruler in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. According to him, he said this will make traditional rulers do more for the people. Do you agree with him? Do you want to call for this?
Absolutely. I've also sent in a couple of memos to government on the issue, with the legislature or it's absolutely, and I emphasize the word capitulators, absolutely imperative that the role is carved out for traditional rulers. Because what are we doing? They know when to come around. Let me tell you something. If there is one small issue down in this town, the first person they're calling is, they're coming right there, my palace. I don't have police, I don't have soldiers, I don't have guns, but yet they know that this is where to go. So what is scaring anybody from making sure that this rule is constitutionally entrenched in our laws? And it just don't making sense. And as long as we continue to pay lip service to that, which is what I'm seeing anyway, people will talk, this lip service to that, we can't get it right. These are people that how many traditional rulers? Look, I don't even have, and I tell people, I don't have a budget. I don't have this. And if I tell you the amount of money, true moral situation that I get from our people to move towards development, you'll be amazed. Then you think of, if I have a budget or I have a role that is entrenched that I will, it's just going to be huge and significant. It can only help our society. It can only help the government. And it can only help those who are afraid. Those who are afraid that, oh, we are ceding powers. After all, these powers, where did they get it from in the first place? They took it from us. That's what happened. They took it from us. So now we're not saying, give us everything back. Let us share this power, because you know we have this power. Because today somebody is coming to town now. The first place is coming to see, to visit. I'm going to AKARIGBO's palace. Why? So why are we afraid to now put this in? Even in order of president, you will see they will even mention the vice chairman or councillor before they mention. It's not making sense. It's not making sense. Like somebody was telling me, he said, somehow they now know that in terms of national honors to prominent traditional rulers, that they've now placed traditional rulers higher than governor. I just rolled my eyes, because the limit you can get as governor at least is a CON, but for us you can get a CFR. But is that what we are talking about? Those are lip service. Those are, we are trying to dress, dress and make it flowery, make it that. Let us apply our law. We have the law. Let us entrench it there, and I'm sure that we will see the difference.
All right. Let me. You established REMO Growth and Development Foundation.
Yes, please.
And I want to ask, why this foundation? What brought about this? What do you want to achieve with this?
Yeah. In any society, you must have a plan. You must have a goal, and some part of the problems that we have in the development of Nigeria, I'm not saying we do have lots of goals, to go this, to this, on that, this, is to have something and then now have a plan towards achieving those things. And that's the purpose of REMO. We felt that there is need for orderly growth of our people, growth of REMO land, and that's what we have done. That we can't just wake up today and say, oh, this is what we'll do, or wake up tomorrow, this is what we'll do. Let us have a consistent plan of action. And you need to see the volume, the book we produced. It's almost over 1,000 pages of this thing, as to where we will go. This is a plan that is, we believe, will outlive all of us, definitely will outlive me. And just to show that there will be orderly progress in the development of our community. And I can assure you that it's slow, it's steady, but we are going to get there one day.
So far, what has been achieved through that, and who are those that you've gathered together to be the brain to run this?
Thank you. I think let me put it this way, because we can't talk about REMO Growth and Development Foundation without paying tribute to our pioneer chairman, excellent REMO people, Otomatuje Labashulani, Arekola Professor. We were both a bit advanced in age, but it was deliberate that I chose people that were advanced in age then, and they gave it their utmost. They laid that solid foundation. But of course, after some time, we don't feel okay. There is now need to give the baton to another set of people. Today, the leadership was transmitted to Otobashini Adetu, if you know. I'm sure you know him. He's well known, former MD of what's that company now? Is it Guinness? Guinness. Good. Then we have Wale Showale, Prince Wale Showale, and then our colonel, Oye. What we're trying to do, they have now taken over the mantle of this leadership, and we have able trustees, well-known REMO people. Sir Kensington Abeokuta, there's the chairman of board of trustees. Tokumba Olawa is there, and a lot number Wale Fayemi, a lot number Kunle, I think Kunle Shodameju. Those are real prominent REMO, and I believe in the goal of REMO, and systematically, again, we want to create. I have worked all over Nigeria because of insolvency. There's no area that I've not gone to run assignments for the banks taking over companies, because they are owing, they don't want to pay. We'll take it over, we'll run it. I was as young as 24 years old when I was running a company with 600 employees, including expatriates. So I got experience there that as to how you can manage people and resources. One of the things we want to ensure is that companies are coming to Nigeria, companies are coming to Ogun State, and indeed, a lot of those companies coming to Ogun State are coming to Remo axis. We don't want a situation where we will create restiveness like that happens in some parts of the country. We have that. One of their jobs is to engage this company. It won't be one youth organization today, another town organization today, one KBC there today. And those companies know nobody goes to disturb them. We're not saying you will take us for granted, but the fact that there will be orderly interaction, orderly relationship between our people and those companies, I think says volume. And that alone speaks volume in terms of the number of companies that are coming to Remo in droves. Don't forget the strategic location of Remo anyway.
Exactly.
But beyond that is we give them rest of mind. It's not as if we don't need things, but we are very measured in what we ask for, because we also want those companies to grow, because we believe that it's only when these companies, when they grow, that in turn that they will be able to pass on that growth to our people.
One of the things that made Remoland strategic is the gas pipeline that passed through, that the companies take to produce their power plants. But what I want to ask is Remoland looking at strategic relationships that can help solve power problem with that kind of resources at our doorstep?
Yes, so because this is something that you can't even. It's but you all know that power is a Nigerian problem, and I'm glad that this government will be very proactive, especially at federal level, in trying to unbundle power. We have to do that, and I see a situation. And if you look at even the Remo Development Group Compendium, power is there. There's no reason why we cannot establish a solar power plant.
Let me ask you a question. What's holding you back? Is it the pressure of your job, the demands of your education, or your ability to connect with the world? Is it access to the right information? Are you lost? Is it your location, or where you live, or how far you are away from the opportunities? Maybe it's your language, your culture, or your traditions. Again, I ask you, what's holding you back?
Unlimited data from Airtel 5G Smart Connect. Whoever, wherever you are, stay connected. Stay limitless. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
People just look at you're coming from Lagos, you've gone through the express road, gone through the Mowe, interchange, you're not coming to Remo. No. If you go, you need to go to Remo North, see the vast land that is there. Go to Akari local government, and then again, go from Shagamu, you're going to Delemo, you're going to Emoe. Huge, massive land. You're going to Ikorodu, huge potential. And what has caused the development of that place? Infrastructure. Kudos to the federal government. At least now we know that the Ikorodu-Shagamu road has been completed. Save only 600 meters. Or you don't know why that will be. When you can construct almost 60 kilometers and you need 600 meters. Maybe there's a problem with Lafayette. But honestly speaking, we'll manage that. We'll dance around the 60 meters or so and finish that. So that area, huge, lays itself. That's where NNPC, bye-bye NNPC used to be those days. But because of road, everything just diverted to the express road. But now that it is done, I'm sure that development is going to come back to that. But coming to your question, if you look at that component I'm talking about, there is an avenue, because there is really no reason why we cannot have a REMO power distribution company. Initially it was fight with all these discos and things like that. Now that it's part of the work is being pulled, it's a massive investment, but I'll take it from you that it's not something that we shy away from. We will not shy away from it, and we do have credible sons and daughters that are willing to invest in strong infrastructure, and we still have the land. And I tell people, one of the things that I really don't care which part of REMO we have the development. As long as we are having it in REMO, take it from me that I will leave my forte, I will leave the core. Recently, there is some people who came to me and they talked about university in I think it's Ishara and Para side. Ishara side. Huge land that they wanted. Fine, but if this land is for the purpose of university, take it from me that I will assist you in talking to the people. I spoke to the people, and by the grace of God, those people will soon start. I've told them, go and handle the government side. There will be 1 or 2 impediments too from there. Call me. Even the government is from Remo anyway. Call me, we will sit down. Brother, this thing we need to make sure we do, because we really do. We have, and I tell people don't know, we have been so disadvantaged in Ogun State. And people will tell you, I say, yeah, things are moving now. But you ask me, tell me, name the federal universities, federal tertiary institution, name that are in REMO. Name the state tertiary institution that are in REMO. At the time, in fact, even up to now, the highest tertiary is not even tertiary. The highest institution is not tertiary. The highest institution from federal government in REMO is secondary school. Federal government secondary school. You can't and you see, sometimes it's difficult. I recall the president. I quote him anytime I see him. I tell you that when he was here, sometimes the things happen. Firstly, too, he said, Kabisi has not been to Shagamu in a long time. That with the proximity of Shagamu to Lagos, he expected that the development here. I was so happy. I took him inside my own room. He said, don't worry, you're already president, but this is what you do for all you. But we've not been able. But one thing I know is that he listens. Remember this our road, our main road. How can the federal government, want to start to refurbish this Shagamu interchange to Benin? And then what did you do? You started from Benin. The highest volume of traffic, the massive volume, is this expert from Shagamu to maybe Odo or Akure, started from there. And then before you know it, they didn't even get to Jabode. I've forgotten where they got to. Money finished. You need to travel, and I'm sure you will have traveled. Travel from Shagamu to Jabode. Wallahi, you feel like dying. This axis, this is an embarrassment. And then you are coming from Benin. You are on this very smooth road. You almost get into Jabode. Boom. You will think, what is going on? But having said that is, then neglect. That's this our road here between what that place called where they sell planks. It's almost caved in completely, and you see people now spending hours there. Then we shouted. The governor shouted. The governor said, he will talk to the president, and he did. And guess what? They're doing it. How many people will have that kind of a problem, and within 48 hours, 72 hours? So it just occurred to me, maybe I'm not shouting enough. Maybe I need to shout. They did it. The governor, the president, and they're working on it. Now you can, because it was really getting back. But that place, the volume of traffic in that place, that just a small distortion, the traffic was becoming. So we're grateful.
All right. I know of Shagamu Day because I've participated in that. But REMO Day, this is a new one.
Yeah.
Why are we celebrating REMO Day?
Well, first is to I'll put it in Yoruba saying, first is to celebrate our people. We have come a long way. prior to my ascendancy to the throne, which is normal. Remo is made up of different communities, different towns. And to bring those towns together, it's a lot of headache, it's a lot of hassles, you know. And I can assure you that in the last 7 years that I've been at AKARIGBO, the cooperation, the support from the nooks and corners, from the crannies, from everybody, peasants, artisans, from Remoland has been wow. And I thought, this is a starting point, a rallying point in bringing us together. Now, it's not again when AKARIGBO talks. It's effective anywhere in Remo. When we meet, everybody has that identity of Remo. They are proud to be Remo. So what best way to celebrate this is for us to bring all our sons and daughters, to bring everybody together, to bring all our friends from all over the world, bring the high and mighty, including the president, especially the president, to Remoland. Yes, to Remoland, to join us in thanking God, in celebrating, in also showcasing this our diversity. You know that what separates us is just so small that what binds us together. We have a lot more in common than what separates us, and we need to celebrate that. And that is the essence of Remo Day. And I'm hoping and I believe that it will be an event that we will remember, but not only for the eating and drinking, and for the celebration of culture, for the celebration of our country, and that's what. And indeed, Ogun State, celebration of Ogun State, that we have these people in Ogun State, that a very, very proud set of people, and we look forward to that day.
Do you see, first of all, what day to what day is the event? Then do you see this Remo Day putting the entire country on the world map in the near future?
Absolutely. It's going to be something to remember. What we are looking at is the way they celebrate festivals all over the world. The Liverpool Festival, the London Carnival, the Rio that, and some of the festivals we also have in Nigeria. I see that where everybody marks his diary and we are very deliberate in the choice of the dates. It's a consistent date that we're choosing, which was the last Friday of every year. The last Friday of every year. That's in December, the last Friday of every year. That's consistently, we hope. That's the grand finale. We will have other programs, other arrangements. Unfortunately, I don't have that in my head, but I know that it's not just only one day event. We're having sort of artwork, art exhibition of the cultures of Remo, and drama. Talking about Remo on his own. I think that's around 24th of December. But the grand finale is the 27th, and it will hold at the Gateway Stadium in Shagamu along Shagamu Kenya Road. And we expect that. Well, I'm still hoping. I'm not seeing a crowd that will beat my coronation in that stadium, but let's see how it goes. But if you can beat that coronation, then I will doff my hat for Remo people, because that was one hell of a crowd.
Yes.
So, well, let's see how it goes.
All right, Kabiyesi, I want to talk about culture and tradition. It's been said that the reason for the moral decadence in our society is because we deliberately forgot about culture and tradition, and we try to live like the Western nations and erode our culture. And now we are battling with this. How much of awareness are you creating among Remo people to make sure that they imbibe culture, they imbibe the Remo culture, the Remo language, the Remo dialects?
We won't, because we missed out a couple of things in that, because the dialect, is all part of it, but I don't see how, because you speak Remo now, it makes you a good person. You won't be able to. But having said that, is the fact that the culture of our people, ability to tell the truth, the omoluabi in our people, those are things that are germane, very, very important, irrespective of what you have become, who you are so afraid to tarnish that name of your father. You are too so ashamed to say, ah, Omotaniye, Kulishewe, Lai. That's key, and that's what we need to bring into focus. And we're doing it. You see, even in the corruption or bad behavior too, it's even encroached our tradition. You will see even our spiritualists, brotherhood too now, telling you, A, meanwhile it's B, doing A, collecting, they're also collecting billions now. It's just everywhere. So what we need to look at, is just that this society, where have we gone wrong? Where have we placed so much value on mortality? But we won't blame us much again, because it comes back to what are we getting as a Nigerian? What is it that we're getting as a Nigerian? Can I, without asking for or stealing, or without asking for bribe, feed my family, live in a decent accommodation? Those things are core. You see, when you go travel out of this country and you see that people are well behaved, and it's because, one, even when they're not doing anything, they know that at the end of the month something is going to come to me. They know that I will have a room to lay my heads. They know that food is there, and those are things that we also need to come, because it gets to a point that if we have some of this place, and a policeman that knows that if he gets home, he will feed his family. If he gets home, that will be light, doesn't have to go and choose anything. It's a decent car, he can get through a mortgage, a house, he can get it. It will be hard piece for somebody to offer him 500 naira. He will look at you and say, "Are you okay?" So those are, it's a vicious cycle. It even goes beyond speaking REMO or it's a vicious cycle, and we just need to look at our society. And government has a massive government, both at state, federal, even local government level, have a massive role to play, that the interest of the people. What is it that can improve the welfare of the people? What is it that will stop making our people dependent on the rich, so that everybody can just say, to hell, I don't care who are you? Because he knows that he will feed. He knows that he will have a place to sleep. He knows that even if there's that small car, even if there's no car, he can join a transportation that he will get him to where he's going. Then we'll begin to have a society we can all be proud of.
Right, Kabiyesi, one of the things that Shagamu is known for, and my grandmother used to trade in that, is the kola nut.
Kola nut.
Yes, and the last time I checked, talking to her, she's still alive. She said, they have cut all our kola nut plantation and all of that. And this is a big trade. This is a big export channel for in the 21st century, I must say. What can we do?
I say it with sadness, and I think I agree with you that is true. All the kola trees are gone. Even our rubber plantation, which is very much around, they're all gone. Now people invade land under government acquisition. They sell. Land grabbers are all over, and you see, we're not helping each other. Maybe because we don't have oil, we don't have what is it that we will fight for? Is that what you have is land, and that land is becoming very pricey. People just go into land. They will invite so-called ajagunbales to help them take over, because they want to sell this land so that factories can take over. It's really appalling and sad that all you need to do is, if you take a trip from Shagamu now, saying you're going to Odelemo, that's still vast land, trees and everything, but even the farmers are afraid. They're afraid to go. They're either afraid of headers, or they're afraid of Ajagunwale, they've sold the land. So that it's, how do I put it? And that's even probably the problem that we have in the country, why food is diminishing. Food is diminishing because a lot of trees, a lot of land has been cut. Nobody wants to go into farming again. And I'm happy with the federal government initiative that, okay, everybody grow something in your backyard. Maybe if you just plant F4 and plant atta in your garden. At least if you stop, if you didn't buy in the market, maybe that would reduce pressure. But beauty again is that I have a lot of young men coming here again, which is a thing, who have decided that they want to go into farming. I know a lot of them, and I wish them well luck. I give them the necessary support that they have to. I give them the necessary contacts, because there are so many government programs, initiatives that they may not know, that we know, that can point them in the right direction of farming. We need to just we need to do that. Even though off the side, a friend of mine was I was really serious. I was blaming Chief Obafemi Awolowo. He was very angry. I said, why? He said, because that what did Obafemi Awolowo give us? He said he gave us rubber plantation. That the whole rubber plantation now, where it is, everybody, they've gone, people have planted trees. That university that they went and put in Ife. If you had put the university here, I laughed, that is very sure that, well, that's bad, but I was trying to tell you, no, don't think that way. But honestly speaking, that's maybe our people, the secure environment, even the interest of government, because the rubber plantation was handled by government then. They are all gone. You need to put people are building houses there now. Building houses, they're building estates there now. What are we going to eat?
All right, Kabiyesi, I'm still going back to the REMO Growth and Development Foundation, because the geographical location of REMO land is a very interesting one. We are bordered to the commercial nerve center of the nation. We are very good transit towns and all of that. Are we collaborating with governments at all levels to show that we are open for business? Yeah. Companies, FDIs, we want them to come.
The simple answer is yes. We have a directorate even on REMO Growth. That is their job. Yeah, simple answer. And I tell you, if you just take, there is no company around here that will not know of the existence of REMO Growth and Development Foundation. Not in terms of being a pest or a nuisance, but in terms of being a partner in development. And Ogun State government, of course, has been excellent and wonderful. They have recognized RGDF, they've dealt with them in occasions, they've consulted with them. Most of the things, most of the investment opportunities available in REMO in Ogun State have been done with the knowledge of RGDF. So I'm not seeing a problem with that. It's I encourage you to go and look at their compendium. It's a well-developed thing that everything that has to do. In fact, even now we are even trying to carve out estates for our sons and daughters in diaspora. They don't want to come. Okay, what we're going to do is we'll get this thing land for you. We'll put structures there for you. Even you have the money, you come and buy. And the response has been huge, and because we want people with the level of transportation now, the way it is going, and people should be able to sit down in Shagamu and commute, or sit down in Para. From Para to Shagamu is 10 minutes or 15 minutes. From Shara to in 5 minutes.
You get to this place.
It's just 5 minutes. So people should be able to live anywhere and then go do your business, whatever you want to do, and then come back and future is bright.
One of the things that I have been accused of at the office is that you are from Chagam. And it's a bad thing. They said the headquarters of cultism. And in March, we saw a story of like 48 people, surrendering and all of that. Ever since then, there have been kind of peace. What is the secret? What did you do? What did you come up with that everything now seems peaceful?
You see, two things. First is that's your statement. I've always fought them about that statement. I don't agree. It is not true. Shagamu cannot be, and it is not. And I say it with all the emphasis of my command, headquarters of anything. You see, what happens is that because of the substitution of our people, because of the level of development of our people, a tiny speck of event happening in Shagamu, the way that thing goes viral, the way it goes viral, you would, things happen all over the country. Nobody says anything, but let it happen in Shagamu. Hey, in fact, it's the guy from Canada that first called me. They know they have it. No, I don't think so. But having said that, we consider we have our own share of these problems. With the spade, and I also concede the fact that yes, We had some issues, quite a lot, that was concerning to all parties. And we had to be very proactive in doing that. We sat down, met, and usually devised a method that we thought, was the best approach. Sometimes might is not always the best of solutions. Maybe we need to come, move back again and reflect. And that was what we did. We moved back, reflected, and started engagement. We engaged, and that was what culminated in what you saw about people surrendering. But beyond that, we are still very consistent. You say you're not hearing anything, it's because we are still continuously engaging. You just wanted to do one thing, boom. And I do, man, it's devil's workshop. These guys don't have much that they're doing. We need to continuously, and that's why I continue to beg and pray to government that they should help. Youth empowerment, youth empowerment, youth empowerment. One way or the other, let's create opportunities for these people, let's create jobs for these people. And also to beg our people too, the powers that be, who have a way of employing the services of some of these boys when they need them. They should just leave them alone, because immediately they taste this huge amount and then you abandon them, they need to look for other things to do. But I'm glad that we are talking to them, continuously talking to them, continuously, and I repeat, it's not as if it's continuously talking to them to let them see that this is not the right way to go. And I'm glad that they're listening. I hope that we'll continue to engage, give them roles in the society, because some of them are also son of the soil. They are from here. So give them role, and it's for them to see what picture are you painting. And I'm glad they are listening. But it is absolutely wrong to describe Shagam as it is pure wrong. Look, I don't want to mention names so that those will not come and start the same. Go to those, I'm telling you, you'll be amazed the level of cultism in those areas. And then what happen like this, Shagam is this and that, but it is not.
All right. Earlier on, you spoke about federal government presence, which I'd never thought about it until you said it now. What is being done to maybe speak to people, at least to come and establish something? Maybe a hospital, maybe a school.
We have, and I know that in the life of this in this current National Assembly, there has been a bill for the establishment of School of Aviation in REMO land. There's been a bill for the establishment of the protecting, I think, for mining or whatever, I can't remember again, in REMO land. So I would say that our representatives are not sitting idle. They also know, they've noted this concern that we are talking about, and we continue to encourage them to so do. But regarding hospitals, I'm trying to rack my brain. Do we have anything from federal government? Maybe not. I doubt, but there's no reason why we cannot have a federal medical center here. But we have a teaching Ogun State. Luckily, we have a Ogun State teaching hospital here. This government, they've done a lot, and they are not trying to undermine the existence of that place. We've had issues with some government trying to undermine that place and trying to make it not worthwhile. That teaching hospital used to be the best state teaching hospital in Nigeria before, not now. But with the efforts that I'm seeing in place, if you go there now, you see developments, construction going all over, and that's credit to the current government.
All right, the Gateway International Airport.
Yeah.
Is in
our flagship.
Is in our domain. Mm-hmm. When the turning of sword was done, what was going through your mind? Now it's almost like 99% completed, just waiting for operation. What does this bring to the table?
It's emotional. It's emotional. It's a good thing. We never know that in your own lifetime you will witness that kind of thing. But you see, having said that, it's a worthwhile project, and I hope and I believe that project will be sustained. It's very important that we cannot allow that project, and whoever is going to come in as a governor of the state, because it's very key. I know what happens in politics, and that's why we are very determined. One of the things anybody wants to be our next governor is, what is your attitude towards that thing? Because it was well conceived. It can work. It's agro cargo too, and you have, things you can do with that place. So why would you not make it work? So To us, it's something that we're almost building our life, almost our life there, so that unless you want to be the enemies or our enemy, then you will think of not making that thing has to work. I'm sure it will work, and I'm glad at the level that it is, but we want to see it very, very now, very functional. And who says it cannot even be airport to undertake commercial operations, the passenger operation, which is the, so that when I'm coming, I just land there and then 5 minutes I'm in my palace. Can you imagine?
So I have like 3 questions to ask you. First is about the state of the country.
Yeah.
People are groaning about price hike, dollar rate, and all of that. Yesterday we heard about the revival of one of the refineries. We had Port Harcourt refinery to Dangote refinery to, and all that. If you are to give maybe 1 or 2 advice to Mr. President, what advice will you give him? Because the people are really groaning.
Well, what we do, what personally, I think it's because of my stake in this government. I still believe this is our government. I like to, in most cases, share my advice privately with them, and I do. I will send notes, send letters to the office of the president. But having said that, for the benefit of our people, I know that things are tough. There's no doubt about it. Things are tough, and I engage in conversations with people who are disillusioned, people who thought they made a mistake, people who thought the country is not going on the right track. But I've always had one message, just give me one message. I say, look, nothing good comes easy. Nigeria consistently, over a number of years, in fact, over a lot of years, we've lived beyond our means. We have lived beyond our means. Unfortunately, if we don't have a government that is determined, that is courageous enough to now say enough is enough, we are heading for what's that thing about perdition, the road to hell. I'm not kidding you. And there were governments before Buhari, I think it was Goodluck Jonathan. You know, it was scary the way we were going then. It was scary, and you know, so there is just that need to take a pragmatic decision and then correct some imbalances that we have. Imbalance in foreign exchange, it's brought in a lot of issues. Envisaged, not envisaged, but the bottom line is that from what I am seeing, from what I can see, if you can just be patient, you can be patient. I'm thinking. I hate to say that somebody. I'm thinking that we are on the path to recovery. And don't forget that all over the world, things went wrong, especially with COVID. Did his own, the war in this, they did his own. You know, a lot of problems. It's just that, unfortunately, a government comes in, people expect miracle. Not even miracle. And then you're not even leaving them at their standard that they were used to before. These even knows that, people don't want to listen, though. And that's the people don't want to listen. That's the thing. So I just hope too. And I also try to tell government, part of the problem that I have on 1 or 2 issues. Like I said, I talk to them privately. But I feel I can tell privately. And I tell them, this issue of palliatives, this issue of giving money to people, we should just stop it. It's not making sense. How many people are we going to give money to? You know, give 10,000, 20,000. With due respect to those distributing the money, I still know this country the way we are. Transparency will be questioned and can be questioned. And besides, why do we even need to give 50,000 to people? Why can't we use that 50, aggregate it, use it to provide power somewhere? Use that 50,000, use it to provide road here, and let us know that this is what we use the 50,000 for. That's not the thing. We need to stop that. You know, unless it's a consistent thing that you want to make sure that this person is not okay. You will come and collect 50,000 every month, but not that you collect for 2 months or 3 months. What are you going to do after the 3 or 4 months? Let's use some of these palliatives to provide infrastructure. Like you said, the refinery is not working now. We'll see how it goes. Thanks to God, Dangote is already there. Okay. Once we can correct some of those imbalances, I feel that Nigerians here will say that we are not patient. I still think we are patient. Just continue, people to just be a bit patient. Not bit more patient with this government. In the next 1 year, we'll begin to see, and I say it, I tell people that exchange rate at 1,600, it's not okay. But what is even worse off is for it not to be stable. If we now say it's going to be 1,500, let it be 1,500. Let us all stop there. Let us all go back to the drawing board and plan on it. But a situation where people cannot plan, and today is 1.5, it's now, if you know how you jump to 1.6 now, it was 900, then 980, 1,000, 110, and then what happened? Everybody now started losing faith in Naira. So what they do is they go buy dollar, so it keeps going. Once we have a consistent exchange rate, even if it's 1,600, and we all know it's 1,600, I don't need to hoard this. And I know that if I need it, I'll go and get me at 1,600, and that's the kind of stability that we need in Nigeria. But like I've said, we're almost getting there. It's been moved around this 1,600 for a long time. But we can't afford to start have this level of volatility in our currency, and God help us.
All right, lastly, what's your message? Because this program is going to be pushed on all our social media handles, and I'm sure there are more people in diaspora will be watching this. Your message to them as we host the maiden edition of REMO Day.
Message to them is that everyone, we are all invited. Remonians, all Nigerians. Well, I hope Shagam will take all of us. All Nigerians, they are all invited. That we intend to showcase class. We intend to showcase our culture. We intend to showcase our diversity. And more importantly, we want to welcome everybody who is who in Nigeria. And who is not who. We want to welcome all of you in Nigeria.
All right. That is the size of the program. I've been talking the last 1 hour with the AKARIGBO and paramount ruler of REMO land, BABATUNDE AJAYI, and he has said a lot of things about REMO land. I feel excited talking to him. Next week is another time. We are going to bring you another guest, and we'll be talking about something special too. Until then, my name is Tunde Olaniro. Bye-bye.